Hey, I'm Ryan. I run Social Shortcuts, coaching social skills. In this exercise, I'm giving you exercises to practice social skills, but all of them you can practice on your own. This is a basic exercise for humour. Humour is probably the least logical part of social skills, in my opinion. So social skills, what I like about social skills is kind of halfway logic and halfway creativity you usually have to do fast. Humour is the part of us more towards art and less towards science. But this part I can do completely logically, and if I knew programming, I could teach to a robot. This is how to make wordplay jokes. Now, bear in mind of humour, some people like certain styles of humour, some people don't, right? So if you may find puns and stuff super funny, I do, or you might think that they're silly, that's fine, some people do. I still think it's good to practice at least a bit just to exercise your mind. Like I said in other videos on these exercises, your neurons change due to neuroplasticity. Same way you can change your body through exercise, you change your neurons in your brain over time through practicing certain ways of thinking. Hardly anyone's even exercising their thinking it's relevant to social skills outside of just being in social situations. So having exercises for them is going to put you at massive advantage if you actually do them. Here's the exercise, right? So wordplay, most of the time is puns and stuff, but it can be other variations. So here's some examples of wordplay, right? Someone is about to leave a park and I hand them a leaf and say, it's a shame you have to leave now. There's a tree that looks really cool. I'll say, that tree looks absolutely tremendous. There's a cat and it's on a log. I'm like, how do you like to read this catalog? It's a pretty funny one, that. So those are some examples of wordplay jokes, right? Here's how to construct one. And honestly, if you have never done this in your life and you're terrible and don't think you're funny at all, you'll be able to do it. Okay, it might take you 5 minutes at each time, or 10 even, but you can start to build up that speed and speed up. Part one, step one, is you have the word that you're trying to make a joke out of, obviously. Can use a random word generator to get something, or do something like watch a movie or listen to something and see what words pop up. But with this, some words could be way harder than others, right? So it's a bit important, just try and pay attention. I'll go through in a while what makes some words easier than others. So first of all, you have your word. So you've got the word leaf that we make a joke out of. So we now need to find a match to that, okay? So a match can be one of a few things. Ideally, we want it to be one of these three things. One, it sounds similar. So leaf sounds like the word leave, okay? They sound similar. Or it can be contained in either direction. So the word cat is contained within the word catalogue or catapult or catalyst. It's loads of different things. Then the other one is an alternate definition. So the word drive can mean driving a car, or it can mean a computer hard drive. So those are the three ideally. You can also sometimes create humour through rhyming or through alliteration, which is words that start with the same sort of sound, like she sells seashells on the seashore, if you didn't know. But it's usually way less likely to be funny. Like I'd say like 1/4 as much personally. So you want to really aim for one of those three things. Sounds similar, is contained in either direction. So cat is contained within catapult, or if you make a joke about catapults, you could use cat and just switch order. And alternate definition. Once you found a match, then you need to find a situation where both of those things are there at the same time. So someone leaving who's in a park that has leaves on the ground, so it's autumn or fall. You've got both those things in the same situation. Someone's leaving and there's leaves. So that's done. So either you can actually be in that situation, or you can talk about it and describe it and bring it up in conversation, right? So that's what I'm doing right now, even by explaining the example. Or you might talk about a topic and say, like, what if this happened, and then bam, your joke, for example. Then you need to use one word in place of the other. So it's a shame you have to leave now. It's a shame you have to leave now. That's dropped in place of the other one. A lot of the time, probably most of the time, you need to add some kind of emphasis or attention to the part that's a joke, right? Because if I say that really fast, lots of people are going to miss that I'm even making a joke. To add emphasis, my example I gave earlier, I used actions as well. So I handed him a leaf. So you can do that. A lot of the time you want to pause or like use extra tone. So it's a shame you have to leaf now, and I leant forwards as well. So body language. So you need to create some different and like heightened like bold text, but in real life. Which brings me on to texting. With texting, You want to do it in capitals or bold text or something like that. And you can include an emoji as well, which often actually makes it more funny because you've got like visual stuff going on as well. So like say someone went to the zoo and saw a bear, you might say, I bet you couldn't bear looking at it because it's so scary. And then you put a bear emoji afterwards, after you use the word bear, for example. So you got those 3 steps. So 1, you've got your word. 2, 4 steps, sorry. 1, you've got your word. 2, you've got, you find a match. 3, you look for a situation where both those things are in the same place. And then 4, you replace one word with the other or sort of mesh them together. Here's a different example. Me and you are driving down a road and we're listening to music and there's cows in a field outside. I say to you, what do you think those cows would think of this music? So what I did differently here was I didn't use the word cow, did I? I didn't find a match to the word cow. What I did instead was use the sound cow makes, moo, to then make my joke. But it's still clear I'm making a joke about the cows because moo is obviously relevant to cows and pretty much everyone knows that. So what happens in step 1, if you can't find a match to the word, and bear in mind people who don't have English as a first language, if you're like French or German or something right now, you can find it harder in English. I'm pretty sure you can probably do this in every language. I did speak to someone who's German once and talk about it and they said that actually this kind of joke is harder in German, so it might be harder in different languages, I'm not sure. I don't speak any languages apart from English, body language, cat and telepathy. So yeah, so you need to list, you can list words that are relevant to it. What else is relevant to cows? Moo, milk, black and white, fields, beef. You could use all of those to make a joke. So that's what you can do. So that's the reason why, no matter how bad you are at humour, you'll be able to do this because you can literally just follow this process. Just like get your word and then try and find a match. If you can't, list some related stuff. Try again. If you can't, list more related stuff. You're definitely going to be able to find something unless you can like barely speak English at all, in which case do it in your own language. So even in that case you can do it. And then you find a situation where both in the same place. So it's usually not that difficult. You can come up with like some hypothetical scenario. Then you just put the 2 words together. Here's what makes some words easier than others. Words of less syllables tend to be easier most of the time. Syllables obviously are like cat is 1 syllable, catalog is 3 syllables, Ryan is 2 syllables. For some reason, animals tend to be really easy. I think it's partly because they have quite a lot of relevant topics generally, and they also often make a sound that is 1 syllable, which is easy to make stuff out of. It's like moo and bar, like how many sounds have a moo sound or a BA sound? Like battery, backwards, loads. So it's usually that, but it makes animals pretty easy a lot of the time. So yeah, usually it's just done by syllables, right? So if this is your first time and you think are really bad, here's some easy examples. Cat, cow, obviously try and use different examples to what I've given you already. Tree, leaf, obviously these ones just said. Here's some different ones. Grass, wood, sheep, fish, rain, and sun is an easy one as well. So yeah, those are some easy ones, but generally you just want to look for something that's 1 syllable. Animals often tend to be pretty easy. And places as well, because places have such a large amount of related topics. So any country that is like halfway well known about, or at least you know about, like if we chose like France or Spain or America or something, and pretty much everyone's gonna be able to list like a load of stuff that's relevant to it. And then you've got more things you can choose from. It's more likely there's going to be one there, you're like, oh yeah, I can see how I can make that funny. So that's how you can do it in a slow way. Obviously what you're going to do is try and work up to a point where you don't need to use that process and you just like do it straight away. But that happens from training your neurons in your brain. If you haven't done this for ages, then your brain's not going to be adapted to this kind of thinking. So you need to get it to that place. When you were born, you wasn't able to do multiplication straight away, were you? You had to learn it, and then lots of people now can do like 4 times 2 without really actually like counting their fingers or anything. So you end up needing to use less tools and stuff as you progress. And it eventually gets to a stage where anytime someone says a word to me, I pretty much thought of instantly pretty much the jokes I can make. And then I can choose to make them or not make them depending on the situation. So yeah, that's the exercise for wordplay of humour. Check out the links in this, whatever it is, probably an email. And you can check my course out. All of the stuff I know on how to not run out of things to say ever again in conversation. All of the exercises explained in full detail, and how to practice it on your own, and how to start using it in real life. And it's got all of my stuff on overcoming nervousness in social situations. Honestly, it's worth so much more than I'm charging. If you run out of things to say, or you want to have more interesting conversations, or you get nervous in social situations, it's 100% worth getting. There's more information in the link. You can also do a one-to-one session about social skills coaching, free trial as well. It's completely free. Go be with one of our coaches, possibly me if you want to, and then you can just talk about beforehand what you want to work on, and we'll help you out as an individual. Some people have sometimes different kind of specific things that are relevant to them and not many other people. Then we've got our WhatsApp chat you can join, where we talk about social skills, and you can answer questions, ask other people questions. I post stuff in there that's useful. I often post stuff that I can't really post elsewhere because it's more like a little community. So stuff that I feel like could be a bit like too much information or personal or whatever for elsewhere. And there's probably other courses. I don't know when you're going to get this email or whatever it is. Check those things out. They're all super worth it. And I'll see you guys soon. I don't know if you're giving any more exercises to practice on social skills. Make sure to actually do it, to practice it, because it's really, really useful. And you'll get faster and better social skills and more funny, which means that people around you have a better time and you have a better time. So obviously it's worthwhile, isn't it? I'm Ryan, Social Shortcuts. See you soon. I've coached social skills for over 10 years now, full time. I've got a team of other social skills coaches working with me. We offer one-to-one coaching tailored to the individual, including a completely free trial session. It doesn't cost you anything, it's free. So this will be at least half an hour, and we'll ask you a few questions beforehand so we can better prepare to help you more. And it'll be tailored to you as an individual, and we'll be helping you with what you want to work on. If you want to book one, I think it's a good idea. If you want to work on your social skills and you have a half an hour free, then I think it's a good idea because it's free and it's half an hour and really good. So the link below is the link to our website. Just click that and go to book a free trial. It should be right on the homepage. I think it's a green button, okay, or orange one, can't remember. So click the link below if you want to do that, and then go to book a free trial. Then we'll receive a message, start communication a little bit, book a time, and then you'll do a free trial session of coaching. Check it out, link below.